All right, let's just settle in for a moment and talk about something really important. There's this gift mentioned in Scripture, the gift of discernment, that's both so needed and honestly so often misunderstood. A lot of us might think it's this, mystical, super dramatic thing that's only for a select few. But what if it's actually something way more grounded, way more practical, and, well, way more beautiful?
Okay, so first things first, let's get clear on what discernment is not. It is not a spirit of constant suspicion. It's not about walking around looking for the worst in every single person or situation. That's a huge misconception, and we've got to set that aside right from the get-go.
And right along with that, it's also not about fear. This is not a gift that's meant to make us anxious or worried or constantly on edge. It doesn't come from a place of anxiety at all, actually. It moves us towards something much more positive, much more constructive.
Which brings us to the main event. If it's not suspicion, if it's not fear, then what is it? Well, it really all boils down to one powerful word: clarity. It's about seeing things for what they really are, cutting through all the noise and confusion to find what's true. Think of it as a source of light, not a shadow.
So, this gives us a great working definition for our whole conversation. Discernment is the Spirit-given ability to recognize what is true, what is wise, and what aligns with the heart of God. Just kind of keep that definition in your back pocket as we gently go through 7 signs that might show this gift is quietly at work in your own life.
So how does this actually play out in real life? Well, the first sign is often a sensitivity to a kind of inner unease. Now, this isn't some loud, blaring alarm bell. It's usually this really subtle but persistent feeling, a quiet discomfort that just lets you know something isn't quite right. It's what makes you pause when maybe everyone else is rushing forward.
And this quote just illustrates that difference so perfectly. It's a calm, internal signal, not anxiety born of fear. See the difference? It's that gentle check in your spirit, a form of guidance, that subtle little feeling of restraint you might get. That's often wisdom in disguise, an inward nudge from God telling you, hey, pay attention.
Okay, the second sign you might recognize is a deep-seated hunger for truth. And this is about way more than just facts. It's a real desire to look past the surface of things. You find yourself feeling less satisfied with the easy answers, and you're probably not all that impressed by a flashy exterior. You're always looking for the substance.
This quote really just nails it. The discerning heart is not captivated by image, but drawn towards substance. It really echoes that wisdom from Proverbs, the idea that real insight is more precious than gold. It's this relentless, quiet focus on what's authentic.
Now, the third sign, this is an unusual, almost intuitive awareness of motives. This is a really mature kind of perception. It's the ability to kind of sense the real intention behind what someone is saying or doing, to perceive what's happening just beneath the surface of a conversation.
But it is so crucial to understand this. This is not about judging people. This is not mind reading or some kind of license to be suspicious. It's a perception that comes from spiritual maturity, and its purpose is never to condemn others. It's simply to clarify what's really going on.
All right, what about how we respond to things? The fourth sign is a huge one, especially in our fast-paced world. It's a natural tendency to reflect before you react. So instead of just jumping to a conclusion or firing off an immediate response, there's this inner pull to just pause, to pray, and to really think things through.
I absolutely love this contrast. In a world that encourages immediate response, discernment invites stillness. It just shows you how countercultural this gift can feel. It's not about being the fastest, it's about being the wisest. This gift really does thrive in patience.
Next up, there's a distinct discomfort with superficial spirituality. This shows up as a quiet resistance to faith that just feels like a performance. Empty words, exaggerated claims, or traditions that have maybe lost their heart. You just feel this deep longing for something more authentic. And here it is, the core of it. The discerning soul longs for authenticity. There's this deep, persistent ache for what's genuine and true in your spiritual life. It's not about being impressive to other people. It's about connecting with what is real.
The sixth sign often feels a little bit like foresight. It's that ability to see where a certain path is probably going to lead long before the outcome is obvious to everyone else. Now, this isn't magic. It's about recognizing patterns and their logical and often spiritual conclusions.
I love this analogy. Think of it like being a seasoned traveler who recognizes the terrain. This isn't about predicting the future like some mystic. It's about having the wisdom and the experience to read the signs on the road ahead.
You perceive the direction of a choice long before you reach the final destination.
And that brings us to our seventh and final sign. And in a lot of ways, this is the one that ties all the others together. It's a deep, growing reliance on God's peace to act as your confirmation, your guide, your internal compass in everything.
This is so important to remember. Discernment is rarely loud. I think we often expect guidance to be this booming voice from the heavens, but more often than not, it whispers through steadiness, clarity, and calm assurance. That's that ruling peace that the Apostle Paul wrote about in Colossians.
So as we start to wrap this up, it's so important to stay grounded. Discernment is not about achieving perfection, and it's definitely not about having constant certainty about everything. It's really a growing sensitivity and a deep reliance on God's wisdom, not our own. It's a journey.
And here's the good news. This isn't something we just have to sit back and passively wait for. It is a gift that grows. It develops through these 4 key practices, through consistent prayer, a posture of humility, really digging into Scripture, and, yep, a whole lot of patience. It can absolutely be nurtured.
So if you're sitting here recognizing some of these signs in your own life, the right response isn't pride, it's gratitude. A spiritual gift is never a reward for us to show off. It's a responsibility we're given. It's meant to bring light and wisdom and protection to our lives and the lives of the people around us.
And ultimately, if you remember just one thing from all of this, let it be this. Don't get too caught up in trying to label the gift. What matters most is nurturing the posture, a heart that's willing to listen, a mind that's willing to reflect, and a spirit that's willing to trust. God refines our perception the same way He shapes our character, gradually and faithfully.
And so as we close, I just want to leave you with this simple blessing. May your mind remain clear,
Your heart remains steady,
And may your path always remain guided by peace.